Hello, hello, and welcome to Easy and Effective Vision Boards for Intuitives, Empaths, and Lightworkers. My name is Fiona Waddell, and I'm the creator of the Intuition Circle, a wonderful community group for women who want to tap into their intuition and apply it to real life situations so they can improve their love, health, wealth, anything they desire from the inside out. So today I wanted to talk about vision boards. This is something near and dear to my heart. Why? Because a lot of people hesitate doing vision boards because they see it as an arts and crafts project. It takes a lot of time, and then they don't feel like it's very effective afterwards. So today I want to give you some of my cheat codes so that you can get in there and start working on your vision. Because when you start creating vision boards and saying to the universe, this is what I want, this is what I want to attract, and creating a very positive energy around it, and then looking at it every single day, you can't help but create parts of it. So let's get down to it. When we're making a vision board, I make it extremely simple. Why? Because I can't handle lots of steps and a mess. With my neurospicy brain, don't get me wrong, I love going to the craft store, but I kind of feel like all over the place. When I go in planning for an arts and crafts project like a vision board, I haven't planned it, I haven't created it. So if I want to do a vision board, I have to sit down, plan it all, then go to the store and purchase everything. No, thank you. So I keep it easy. I take a piece of blank paper and I fold it in four. So there's four quadrants. And in the middle, I write my name. Then each quadrant is a goal. I usually choose a physical goal. So it could be running or weight loss or strength training. Then I choose a work or finance one up in the top corner. So it could be finishing writing my book or so many subscribers on my channel, for example. And then the next quadrant, I usually choose a relationship one, uh, maybe like travel or maybe joining a new community or getting involved with certain projects. And then the last one is usually something fun or a pursuit I have personally, which for me right now is learning Welsh. So that is over there completing so many chapters, or I think the goal I set out with my tutor was next year I want to be able to do the Sylvine speaking test. So that goes into my fourth quadrant. So I have these four ideas. Now, how do I get that from here in onto the sheet? First, keep it simple, Sally. I can't stress that enough. A lot of vision boards I see is just like motivational quotes, happy pictures, flowers, just vomited just all over it. And people are like, oh my gosh, what do you think of my vision board? And I look at it, I'm like, so what are your goals? Because it's just very abstract. They know what they are, but does the universe? It's so all over the map. And I took a wonderful vision board workshop a few years back where the teacher said, treat it like you're talking to a dumb genie. And I was like, yeah, that's so true, right? Because I looked at my vision board and I totally got called out. Um, so I want to, at that time, I wanted to donate money to animal shelters. And so my vision board had all these animals on it and a globe. And he was like, so what are you trying to achieve here? Like, do you want a lot of pets? Do you want a lot of cats? Do you want to have a globe in your home? And I realized it wasn't specific and clear. And truth be told, now I've ended up with five cats. So I think that kind of wore off on me. But uh, it wasn't clear. So instead of putting that on there, I changed it and I put a certain amount of money I'd like to donate per month at that time. This was a few years back. And I put the name of the actual organization I wanted to donate to. And lights went off. I'm like, oh, I get it now. Keep it simple. I had another thing on there. I wanted to go on a trip to Alaska. So I just had like a big map of Alaska, and he's like, "Where are you going?" Like, "Well, what is this? Like, what are you trying to do here?" And I'm like, "Well, I want to make enough money to get there. I want to go on these excursions. I want this kind of room." And he's like, "Just go on the internet and print off pictures of the room you want, and print off pictures of the actual excursions and the whales you want to see, and I put the amount or put zero like a bill and say paid off next to it." So I did. I went in and printed off the exact balcony room that I wanted us to have, and the excursions, and then paid. It was paid off by a fluke of the universe. We weren't supposed to get a balcony room. We ended up getting a balcony room, which was perfect for looking at the glaciers. And then all of our excursions came through perfectly. We didn't have to go on a wait list or anything like that. Everything worked out. I kid you not. Um, Another one I had was at the time I was doing a lot or pursuing acting, and I wanted so many contracts. And so I just had a stage in a theater. And he's like, "What is this?" And he says, "Print off little contracts, print off three little contracts and put that in there." I got two out of the three contracts that year. So it was really exciting. So keep it simple. And I've already snuck in something else. Keep it simple and be specific. So if you want to run a marathon, choose the marathon, choose the distance. Like right down, well, marathon's all the same distance. For some people, it might be like you want to be able to do 10K. So maybe you want a 5K race and a 10K race, but choose the races as well. Do a little bit of research. Be specific. I think with my vision board this year, I wanted so many subscribers to my YouTube channel. So I put that number on there, and it feels totally doable. That's the other thing about it, is not only be specific and clear, like literally in a one sentence statement, I want to achieve X for X or X and Y. And with that, make sure it's something that gets you excited. I see a lot of people, especially when they're talking about paying off debt, for energy workers, debt, well, it's money. Money is an energy flow. We talk about debt. I'd say achieve financial freedom is a better phrase for that, and more uplifting, because we want to use some NLP language, neuro linguistic programming, a positive wording. So instead of paying off my debt, because what we focus on expands. So if you're looking at a number and you want it to shrink, you're going the wrong way. You may want to go from starting off paying nothing and moving up, or I just say financial freedom. Put financial freedom and then your a credit card statement, and then put across it financial freedom. So positive language, keeping it specific and being very clear, simple. So you do that. You create a statement for each one, very, very simple. Like you're looking for a new job, for example. Find the company you want to work for, the position you want to work for, the amount of money you want to make per year, the amount of vacation time. Like get specific and put that in your square. You can put a lot of different things. Then what do you do about all these graphics and pictures that you see everybody just filling up their vision board with? You don't have to do that. You don't. You really don't. I say to students, go on the internet. If you've got a printing account, and if you don't have a printing account, save it to a USB stick and head over to Staples and print off. It doesn't have to be color either. And just print off, like copy paste images, because you're not selling this, you're not redistributing it or anything like that. So you can take images, like let's say you want to work for Google, then get the Google icon and put it on your vision board. Because that's what you're saying to the universe. That's where I want to work. And then the job description or the title that you want to have there, and the amount of money, you can write that in, right? There's nothing wrong with colored markers. Get creative that way. But it doesn't have to break the bank, and it doesn't need days worth of planning, nor 5,000 different magazines where you're flipping through and cutting out pictures. Google motivational quotes if you really want one, but I'm going to talk about that afterwards. I wouldn't I would caution against motivational quotes on your vision board. I'm not saying don't collect motivational quotes, they go somewhere else. But you can just go to the dollar store. I picked up a canvas there, or I picked up Bristol board, and then I folded it in four, and I put my goals super specific and clear. And then I went on and, Chat GPT can be handy with images as well. You can put your image into something, you can prompt that, but you can also just surf the internet and get the phrases and the specifics for hotel vacations, flights, airlines you want to travel with, places you want to go. Cut out the place you want to go. You can find any image of anywhere in the world, right? Put that on your vision board. For me, with the Welsh test, I had the Welsh flag, and then I had the test, the category level, and then I put the test on there, and then me speaking. I kept it simple. And so my energy, every time I look at that, I know exactly what it is, and it's clear to the universe. And if you feel like your images aren't that clear, write a sentence underneath it. I want to achieve, and then write it down. Or I am achieving, or this has happened. I try to keep it in the present. Um, I complete the speaking test, for example, and I keep it simple. And then I just glue everything, cut and paste what I have. It hasn't broken my bank. It hasn't taken several hours to cut and paste and flip through and find stuff. And it's all in positive language. And you have a higher chance of achieving it because it's clear, it's crystal clear. I sometimes like to put a statement at the very bottom. That is my overall energy for the year. And then from there, as a light worker or an intuitive, if you work with Reiki, I like to throw all the symbols on the back. If you work with ruins, if you have any protection, or if you do any priestess work, like you want roses on there, or pictures of certain deities or goddesses or loved ones that you or guardians that you want to help you, pop that off to the side or to the corner, put it together. There's no reason why they can't be a part of that energy, because a vision board is a portal of your future self that you have brought into the present. That's what it is. And that's the magic to the vision board. Because when we train our nervous system to feel safe about a certain goal, we achieve it. We become magnetic. We start noticing, right? You notice what you notice. And you start noticing it's the famous the statements that, you go buy a red car and then suddenly you see red cars everywhere. That's our nervous system feeling safe about red cars. So when you create a clear, simple, concise, easy vision board and you feel good about it, you're rewiring your brain to feel safe with it. And then you become magnetic and you place it somewhere you see it every day. Mine's in my office. I have it underneath the sheet of paper right now, but I'm getting a picture frame for it so it can be right by my desk where I sit and I work all the time. It is right here in my studio space, my healing space. So I can't avoid it. It's there every day, and I get excited every time I see it. I do. And that's how you make an easy and effective vision board. And that's the science behind it as well, too. Not only just the woo-woo, the magic, it actually impacts your nervous system. It takes you out of fight or flight, because when we set new goals, if it's too hard or too challenging, or we put it in a negative context, like I have to lose weight, you know, or oh my God, I have to pay off all this debt. Ah, it's not magnetic. We're still putting ourselves into fight or flight. So the energy of I'm achieving financial freedom. I'm feeling fitter and stronger, and I'm going to be able to walk 5 kilometers with ease. And if you knew me 2 years ago, I could barely walk up the stairs because my lungs were shot from a respiratory condition. That's a huge deal, absolutely huge. So that's some of my secret tips about the vision boards. And you can add your magical elements to it if you want to add any extras around the side, but keep it simple, like any guardian angels, deities, pictures of loved ones, keep it simple by the side. And I did touch on this, and I'm going to go there. The quotes and all the colorful, creative stuff that is typically associated with vision boards, which I'm sorry, some tough love. Pull that out of there. But where can you put that? You can put that on an inspiration board. It's kind of like an altar. It is like an altar. It literally is an altar space. But for those that aren't comfortable with the word altar, not realizing it just means portal energy, high vibe space for something to be created, an inspiration board, I would put all the quotes, all the flowery pictures you find, all the happy pictures, any stars or celebrities or people who motivate you. That goes on the inspiration board. And that can go next to or somewhere really close to your vision board. That's totally cool. But you don't want to overlap them. Use the inspiration board to lift yourself up, to get yourself fired up, and then look at your vision board and say, I'm going for this, 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 this. But create a separate inspiration board. I know a lot of people who actually have created inspiration journals instead, where they just get creative and, they paint, they draw, they doodle, they cut and paste any pictures or anything they find that motivates them or anything they've achieved, any specific goals, ribbons or certificates. They might take pictures off it and put it in their inspiration book so that 10 years from now, they can go back and look at the actual journey of them getting to whatever their goals were, which is really exciting. So I'm not fooey on the artsy fartsy stuff. I used to be an arts and crafts director at a camp. Like, don't get me wrong. I love me some candle making and arts and crafts, finger painting, and getting my hands dirty. But when it comes to vision board work, I take that as work. That is work. Because it's going to get me to where I want to be. Like, I take time out of my work schedule to do my visualization and my vision board work. So if you've been putting it off because it's too time consuming or too expensive, here's some easy ways to do it. So I hope this helped. And if you liked it, please join me, subscribe. I'm here to serve and help. And I do offer the Intuition Circle, which is a wonderful membership for women who get to come in, learn about energy, and we practice. We have 2 practice labs each month where we practice the skills, like our different clairs, and we work with each other, support each other. You're doing the work. I hold a space. I take you through a lesson, a couple of points, then you guys work with each other. So there's community in that respect. There's a healing and clearing class every month. There's 5 classes every single month as part of the membership, which is kind of unique because most memberships, it's one training a week or once a month. This is 5 times a month we get together. So if you're interested, go check it out. It's always growing and changing, and the more that joins, the more variety we have there. So it's a beautiful, beautiful space. So thank you, everyone, and take care.